welcome back to Chasing Cars 71 YouTube channel. We're here today in Staffordshire at Uttoxeter Racecourse for the Staffordshire Motorsport Show. An interesting show with car clubs, different collections of vehicles and a live stage that will be running throughout the day. So tributes here to Richard Burns, obviously 25 years since Richard won the World Rally Championship in 2001, so completely appropriate. There's a collection of Burns cars, including the legendary X20 SRT, Richard's winning car from the 2001 World Rally Championship, as well as some other competition cars. And for the first time that I've seen in my rallying history, Richard's Mark II Escort that he used back in the mid to late 80s in its original livery from the Welsh Rally School. So a great car to see here on show for the first time that I've seen anyway. So another car that we featured on the channel back at Race Retro early in 2026 is the tribute car here to Richard Burns from the 2001 Monte Carlo, owned by Anthony Fowler. So thanks for bringing the car out to the Burns display area, Anthony. Looks great again. So there's a whole bunch of RB5 Subarus here on the display stand. Really nice cars, all from sort of 1999, 2000 era. I think they were out. It's really good to see such really good examples. Alan Netty's car here, I've just had a good chat with them and a closer look at it, and it's a really good example of a pretty standard looking RB5 from back in the day. So long-term owners, got some really nice memorabilia, including something I've never seen before, which is the order of service from Richard Burns' memorial service back on the 22nd of December 2005. So the RB5 was a commemoration car really, or a celebration car I should say, for Richard returning to Subaru in 1999, obviously leaving Mitsubishi at the end of 98 with a victory on the RAC rally at that November. Back to Subaru on a new contract, and to celebrate that they thought it was appropriate to bring out the RB5, so really cool. And then of course, to commemorate Richard's passing in 2007, Subaru brought out the RB320, which was probably the ultimate sort of Subaru in terms of performance and so on. Limited to just 320 road cars, and again there's some really good examples of the car laid out here on the display stand, remembering Richard. So we're going to check out some of the cars now. We'll try and capture all of the competition cars here today. So come and join us on our walk around the Staffordshire Motorsport Show. Sticking with the Richard Burns theme, we've got this lovely Richard Burns replica car here from Steve Chamberlain. The cars are forming up here through to this area ready for special stage 1, so the start line is over there. Restricted access unfortunately, but we'll film what we can from this vantage point, or as close as we can get.
Sir, how are you?
Right. Hello chaps, how are we?
All right, as long as it don't rain, we should be all right.
Well done, a good one.
Thank you.
Cheers.
So the stage is live, we've got the cars now coming through, running the stage here at the Staffordshire Motorsport Show. Let's check out some of the stage action.
Normally aspirated. Understand the pop of the wastegate. Martin Roberts and Stephen Harris with Martin's short wheelbase Sport Quattro, car number 2.
So lunch break is over. There's a bit of a gap in proceedings now before they run the stage again this afternoon for the competitive cars, which I think will be running the opposite direction. So we'll try and catch some of that action shortly. But great news for Dave Welford here. This is Dave, who runs the Richard Burns fan club on Facebook. Many of you will recognise Dave's name, and he's also responsible for Pictures of Rallying, which is the other big online community on Facebook. So make sure you check out those two pages, and I have to say, on behalf of everybody that's been here, a big thanks to Dave for organising today. Well done, Dave, you've done a grand job.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
What did you win? Did you win a prize for today?
Best car in the show, and
wow,
hopefully they're going to put together as many Subarus as possible.
Okay.
Get some pictures, and I think there's a prize coming our way. So
fantastic. Well, good effort. A great display and great memories of Richard. So yeah, a really good organisation for Dave to pull off getting this car here for the show today. So I hope you're enjoying looking at the show today at Staffordshire Motorsport. It's been a really good mixed event with different categories of cars. For us here, it was all about remembering Richard. I've dug out my vintage Richard Burns hat from 2002, I think it was. It's looking a bit worn now, a bit like me I suppose, but a great hat, and one that was important to bring on a day like this. So yeah, really cool. Of course, it was an absolute tragedy that we lost Richard some 4 years to the day that he was crowned victorious as the world champion, and I know many rally fans around the world were deeply saddened by his loss. And it's important when we come to events like this to mark key milestone dates, 25 years, that we think back to Richard and remember him, remember the good times, remember what a great individual he was. So Yeah, put your own comments below if you have fond memories of Richard, either competing or whether you're out spectating. What are your memories of him? So I suppose thinking back to my own personal reflections on Richard Burns, he was always a approachable kind of guy when you were watching him on rallies. If you caught him in a service area or stage start, then he'd always make time to connect with you and chat, and that made him really special in the WRC. And I was lucky enough to watch Richard through the 90s on the RAC rallies, and then as ChasingCars moved overseas to follow the WRC in the early 2000s, then we were always cheering for Burnsy and obviously Colin McRae as well. Great that we had two Brits at the top of their game in the World Championship. So for me it was always about connecting with Richard. There were some personal highlights in 2001 on the San Remo rally. Richard unfortunately slid off the road on stage 1, first stage on the Friday morning, which wasn't part of his plan, and we were lucky enough to be on that stage just a couple of bends up from where he went off the road and got there fairly quickly. So I think he was surprised to see some friendly English faces there on the stage amongst a few local Italians, and we were able to sit with him on the stage and Robert and have a good chat and catch up and a laugh, and they saw the funny side of it in the end. At that time I think he felt that probably put the end to his 2001 championship chance, because he needed a good result and there were 2 or 3 other rallies to go. But the history books show that he picked himself up from that event. After a DNF he went to Corsica and finished 4th, Australia 2nd, and then of course we all know the magic that played out on GB 2001 with Richard becoming victorious in Margam Park on the 25th of November 2001. And it was great to be there at the end of the stage along with many thousands of other fans to see Richard cross the line with Robert victorious as the world champions for 2001. And of course later that night we knew there'd be a party somewhere, so we tried to find where the party was for the end of rally season and managed to find the appropriate nightclub that were hosting the end of year WRC party, and blagged our way in there so that we could hopefully catch up with Richard, which we successfully did. And what a night that was. So some happy memories